Attention all passionate and loyal Cleveland Browns fans. A true storm is shaking up the AFC North, and what's happening right now could completely transform the Browns' Super Bowl ambitions. We're witnessing a monumental power shift, one that could leave one of our fiercest rivals stumbling for years. And you're hearing this here firsthand. Before we dive in, if you're part of the Dog Pound, don't forget to subscribe and join this growing brotherhood. Let's hit that 2,000 subscriber milestone together. Share this news with other fans and make the Browns' voice echo throughout the entire NFL. Now hold tight, Browns Nation. A piece of news that seemed like a simple act of kindness has started to spark a wave of speculation and controversy behind the scenes in the NFL. Bill Belichick, yes, him, has just sent a heartfelt message to the legendary Bernie Kosar, and what appeared simple suddenly became much bigger. But before we get into the details, if you are a true Brownie, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers together and strengthen this community that lives and breathes Browns football. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. In recent days, Belichick surprised everyone by sending a warm, emotional message to Bernie Kosar, one of the greatest icons in Cleveland's history. A speech full of respect, admiration, and gratitude. Beautiful, right? Or, is it too beautiful? Because for those who remember, there's an open wound here. In 1993, Belichick, then the Browns head coach, cut Kosar in one of the most controversial decisions in franchise history. The entire city was in shock. Part of the fan base never forgave him. Kosar was the symbol of a Cleveland team that fought, that resisted, that believed. And Belichick was the man who ended all of that. So why now, this sudden heartfelt message? This is where the story starts to get interesting and controversial. Several insiders began raising a theory. Is Belichick trying to rebuild his image with Cleveland's fan base? Remember, Belichick is officially out of the Patriots, and even as one of the greatest coaches of all time, he still hasn't found a new permanent position. And guess which franchise always comes up whenever his name hits the market? Exactly, the Cleveland Browns. And there's more. His message to Kosar wasn't just polite. It was emotional, personal, almost a request for reconciliation. He praised Kosar's character, dedication, and toughness. Something that, for many analysts, sounded like a public settling of accounts, maybe even a strategic one. It's no exaggeration to say that it triggered alarms among insiders. Is Belichick trying to rewrite the narrative of his time in Cleveland? Because look at the current situation. The Browns are dealing with instability on the offensive staff. The franchise risks wasting years of a competitive roster. And, of course, there's constant pressure for a legendary coach to finally lead Cleveland to a Super Bowl run. Then suddenly Belichick, the most successful coach of the century, sends an emotional message to the very man whose departure he caused decades ago. Coincidence? Some say absolutely not. To them, Belichick is testing the emotional waters in Cleveland, trying to measure the reaction to a possible reunion. Others believe it's just image cleanup. But there's a louder group, and this one is the most provocative, that believes this is the first step of something much bigger. Now imagine the impact. Belichick returning to Cleveland almost 30 years later to finish the story that began in chaos. A full redemption arc. The perfect narrative. A circle finally closing. But here's the huge issue. The Browns fan base would be more divided than ever. On one side, those who believe Belichick could transform the franchise. On the other, those who never forgave the Kosar cut and wouldn't accept his return, not even for a Super Bowl. And that's exactly why this message to Kosar wasn't simple. It wasn't random. It wasn't just affection. It might have been a signal, a test, a quiet chess move, or just a human gesture. But when it comes to Belichick, you and I know, nothing is ever that simple. What do you think? Is Belichick inching closer to Cleveland, or is this just the beginning of a brand new controversy? The season will tell. And this story is far from over.